Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the video. My name is Brandon Weicker. It's the name. It's the name of the channel, so kind of hard to miss, kind of hard to misspell. Um, what you're about to be treated to here is a game of Arena of the Planeswalkers. It was kind of a knockoff of Heroscape back from 2015, 2016. Um, Decided to get Tabletop Simulator kind of recently. Just I've been kind of on a kick to play Arena of the Planeswalkers in general. So I was talking to some guys on a couple of Discord channels or servers, I should say. And yeah, I got a guy to play around with us. We've been kind of chatting about it for a while now. So you're gonna see I'm getting used to the interface of Tabletop Simulator in this game. But we played 600-point armies, destroy everything on the other guy's team, whatever's left on the map anyway. So it's not just kill the planeswalker in this one. Um, oh, and one more thing, I'm cheating. I'm looking at my script up here. My opponent requested that I don't, that I didn't record our chat during the game. So you're gonna hear my voice, my super silky deep voice narrating the game, kind of my thoughts of the game as the video plays through. So I think that covers it. Enjoy it. So here is the initiative roll, and as you'll see, I'm already struggling with how the heck to get a D20 to roll. I felt like I was burdened with glorious purpose, like Thor, like attempting to get a freaking D20 to roll, and it was just deciding I wasn't worthy to wield it. But eventually, I just got to toss around in the air a couple of times. It didn't even roll necessarily, but whatever it landed on, I just decided to go with it. But I do end up losing the initiative roll. However, my opponent decides to actually go second and give me the first turn. And number one here, I'm summoning first thing. These guys, the what are they called? The restless zombies. They're basically cannon fodder in my eyes, and you'll see that I basically treat them that way in this game. What's happening on the screen right now is I'm using obnoxiouses. I'm gonna call them obnoxious because I think it's hilarious. But I use at any price immediately on a zombie that I just summoned, adjacent to the planeswalker there. That which causes me to draw a card, and I intentionally summoned the other two zombies far enough away where I can fly him 6 spaces up, take height advantage, be next to a bush. In case some of you don't know what the bushes and the trees do, the palm trees, it's a rule from Heroscape where if your figure is adjacent to one of these bushes or one of these trees, and you're attacked by a non-adjacent figure, you get your defending figure gets +1 defense or +1 toughness in the case of AOTP. So it was a really good spot for me to start my first move. So I decided to place my two zombies here, drop obnoxious right there. You'll see I rolled 6 dice. I got 3 hits, which, you know, for all I care, the zombies have 1 life, 1 defense. I don't need to roll defense, honestly. That guy's just flat out dead. So I remove him from the map, and the turn passes over to my opponent. He's summoning right now at this point the Elf Rangers from the first. I think it's from the first first master set, the first AOTP set, the base game. The guys with that annoying sprint ability where they shoot you and run away. So that's these guys. He's dropping them. I don't catch the third one, the summoning of the third one very well, but it is hidden kind of directly behind this palm tree, kind of just to the left up here. You see him drop it right there. And then at this point, he's also summoning the Kessig Rangers, the guys that transform into the werewolves from it might be the Shadows over Innistrad set. It's either that or Zendikar. They're definitely not from the first set. So they're there, one to the left, one to the right. Now his basically his action 3 to move Nissa forward, and then to launch the attack, which is that's pretty easy line of sight. So it's going to be a 3 versus 6 because again, Obnoxious has base 4 defense, +1 for height, +1 for being next to the bush. And here I am struggling with the dice again, and I finally I finally figure out how to make them toss the right way. You saw the dice toss the correct way, and it doesn't look so unnatural. But yeah, he fails to get a hit with that attack, and turn passes back to me. I draw a card. I didn't even see what I drew in that video. Oh, Dark Harvest, yeah, and I didn't have any major plans for Dark Harvest at this point in the game. Didn't have major plans for most of my cards at this point in the game, honestly. I was very stuck. Actually, I was thinking about this move for a little bit. And oh, I already missed it. So I used at any price on the kill, or I mean on my last zombie. And then I drew Killing Wave, which actually like opened up this whole turn for me because I was like pondering. I was like, "Oh man, what am I gonna do this turn?" But as soon as I drew Killing Wave, it was like, "All right, I know exactly what I'm doing." So I summoned a Ghoul Vanguard adjacent to his one archer to the left, and kind of just to get a body on the map. And then, with the full intent to use, the Killing Wave is just a freaking brutal card. This was a perfect opportunity to just, basically kill two of his guys for free, in a way. So I do take that opportunity. I fly Obnoxious over there, and I Killing Wave does 3 damage to each, I think, non-zombie squad figure, and the Elf Rangers are, 3 life or 3 health, whatever the term is. So they die instantly. So he summons the Path Wardens, the 2-man elf squad with 5 defense and the ability to protect adjacent figures from enemy ranged attacks. And then he plays this funny spell card that, I have a special guest speaker named Nixilis to tell us about.
If you ask any classy black player, such as myself, they would tell you that Elvish Blade Finesse is a card for uncivilized beasts.
Wow, that's a sophisticated way of putting it. And as someone who also identifies with all of Black's values, I'd have to agree. But you'll see my opponent just moved Nissa along the road spaces. I think it's 7 spaces, due to the road rules, where if you take every step on a road, you can move up to 3 more spaces while still on the road. And he has sight to Obnoxious's wings, which are a hit zone. So he rolls 3 attack dice to my 6. He gets 3 hits, and I get absolutely nothing for shields. So that's 3 wounds, 3 hits completely unblocked. At this point in the game, you're going to see it, and I took the whole... I figured I would just need the whole wound bag at this point because of just how poorly the game suddenly seemed to be going. But no. So I had 5 wounds on Obnoxious right at this point. But luckily, I think I had Altar's Reap. Yeah, if you kind of look at the bottom middle of the screen, I do have Altar's Reap in my hand. So, and as you'll see here, I activate Obnoxious. I roll a 13, which is excellent for Darkness Arises because it only requires a 12. So this couldn't have worked out any better for me because if that roll failed, I probably would have been in some deep crap. This gives me the chance to play Altar's Reap, and if I remember right, that is exactly what I do. But not only that, I drop my zombies, around to try and kind of box my opponent's figures in. Here I'm testing for line of sight because you do need line of sight to your figures, to the zombies when you place them. Your Planeswalker has to have line of sight. And I didn't think it was arguable. I didn't make too much of a fuss about that, so I just decided I'll make him, I'll move the zombie 1 step backwards, and he's still blocking the road, so Nissa can't really run away so easily. So mission accomplished. Things are kind of boxed in, and what am I doing? Oh, I'm dropping Despise. I do a poor job, and I apologize for this. I do a poor job of showing what the card's effects do in this, and I learned that later. But Despise is just, the Planeswalker gets -1 attack. It's a permanent enchantment. So I drop that on Nissa to drop her attack by 1 point. And then you'll see I do play Altar's Reap here, which is basically I kill a creature I control next to my Planeswalker, and my Planeswalker will heal 4 damage. So that's exactly what I'm doing, is I'm using my cannon fodder for exactly what they're good for and just killing them over and over. And now there's only 1 damage on Obnoxious. And at this point, I'm pointing out to my opponent that I'm using at any price on his Path Warden. So he's going to draw a card. And then I believe I opt to take a disengage here. Yep. And I fly over because I need to just annoy Nissa. So he's going to roll the disengage on the side here. That's a hit. So I'm dropping one of those wounds right back on my Planeswalker. I think I'm just announcing my action 4 attack, which should be a 5 versus 4. So one sword versus 2 shields, just a block and nothing happened. So, no, we're already back to Green's turn. He's playing, I think it's called Snare of the Skies. Basically, one of his squads gets +2 range and +1 power for the turn. He's activating the Kestic Rangers. The one that was just pointed out there, kind of on the right side of the screen, is taking the double attack. The Hunt at Dawn, I think, double attack. And now he plays Titanic Growth, and you'll see it on the screen there. A single creature gets +3 power until end of turn. Which he's dropping that on the double attacking Kestic Ranger. Very powerful. The Kestic Rangers are super powerful when used with Titanic Growth, in tandem with that double attack power. So his first attack is from that leftmost Kestic Ranger to my zombie that's adjacent to his other Kestic Ranger to try and remove it. But you'll see here he rolls 1 sword, and off of 1 defense I get 1 shield. But he said he forgot to move his Kestic Ranger first, so I just say go for it. I'm just gonna roll the LEA for it, and here I am struggling to roll again. There, I toss it correctly. He gets away for free, so the leaving engagement fails. He moves his Kestic Ranger, the double attacking one, where he can double attack Obnoxious. He's rolling 7 dice 2 times, and here I'm like sweating because that's 6 swords right there. He rolled 6 hits. And I get this equally obnoxious 3 shields out of 5 dice roll, which was just practically a miracle, honestly, because, I don't know, that was just lucky. Maybe for both of us. His second roll, his second attack, he has 2 swords out of 7 dice. In that one, I blocked 2 shields out of 5 dice. So I think Obnoxious at this point is at 5 wounds out of 8 life total. And here he's just transforming. Kestic Rangers at the end of their turn, they can transform into their wolf form. I might have to post some links in the description so people can read these cards. I can't go through them all one by one. I'm sorry. While I'm talking in the game. So anyway, back to my turn. Back to Black's turn. Painful Truths. And I think I pondered this turn for a little bit, trying to figure out how I'm going to keep Nixilis alive, and I don't think it was going to be possible. So I'm just considering, all right, I just need to toss my Eldrazi Scions, out of my reserve, because you can't summon anything once your Planeswalker dies, in a kill the entire army scenario. So if you don't summon something and your Planeswalker dies, basically everything you didn't summon is dead. It's equivalent to dead because it's not going to be able to enter play. So I do my best to kind of get a bunch of engagements here to try and protect Obnoxious from lots of extra attacks, and you'll see me struggling. the Eldrazi Scion is actually bouncing off of Obnoxious's wings, so it keeps tipping over. But we get it fixed, and in about 3 or 4 seconds later, I decide I wanted to move the other one to try and box Nissa in a bit more. But that is where I finalize my summoning placements. So I play Corrupt. Again, I could have attacked or targeted one of my opponent's figures because there was a few in sight. But I just figured I'd just destroy the zombie. Because I also had Painful Truths in hand to kill the other zombie. So I thought this through, and I just figured I'll kill both of my zombies right now. So deal 1 damage to my zombie, kill it. and then heal 1 damage off of my Planeswalker. And then number 2 here is Painful Truths, which is deal 2 damage to a creature you control, and then draw 2 cards. And again, this like just perfect for black. It's just like, I don't care about these zombies. I will kill them repeatedly if it means I can draw more cards. And you'll see here I pull Ever After and Barter in Blood. I'm not sure why, but in the moment I thought Barter in Blood was a hidden enchant. When it doesn't even say that on the card, I think I just played it without reading it. I must have just assumed it was. But so you'll see I play it face down, like with the intent to like make my opponent, not want to attack them when he reveals it. And they're getting close to being my last hope. So I'm gonna fly Obnoxious away, risk another disengage. And I thought about it. I was originally gonna at any price, the wolf, and then I thought, you know what? That means I don't have anything for my my action 4 attack. So I decided to move the extra 2 spaces right here instead. And then I can attack up on the Path Warden that's on that high ground there. So here, I'm pointing out, I'm using at any price on the wolf. And then I'm attacking the Path Warden after that. Because you are allowed to use activated abilities, or at least I play it, such that you're allowed to use activated abilities in between moving and attacking, but not during moving or during attacking. So here's the attack up on the Path Warden. That's what, 2 hits versus, I think he gets 6 defense. I think he rolls 6. He should have rolled 6. Yeah, he did. So 2 hits to 1 shield. He's going to get a wound. And this is another fun part of Tabletop Simulator, is that like the wound markers, like we couldn't get it to drop on the base. So he, I don't know how to do this. I'll have to ask him, but he finds a way to like magically attach, whatever, call it digital magic, technomancy. You'll see it right there. He attaches the wound like floating to the figure somehow. Pretty neat. So it's kind of the equivalent of putting the wound on the base, honestly. So on his turn, he's this is Expedition. It's a sorcery that says I think his Planeswalker gets +3 move for the turn and disengage, which is kind of huge for him this turn. And then there's another enchantment, Predatory Strike, which says as long as the enchanted Planeswalker has height advantage, it gets +1 more power, over the normal height advantage boost. So he's opting to run away right up there and take the high ground. And I think he's rolling 4 to 4 right here. Yep, 4 versus 4. I think he gets 2 hits and I get 3 shields. Like, for some reason, my defense was just obnoxious for a lot of this game, and it held up a lot of points where I really needed it to. So he uses sprint, as you just saw, and retreats away a little bit. My turn, draw a card, Bone Splinters. Again, at this point, I don't think I was thinking of anything. But as I was staring at my hand here, I was like, oh man, like my Scions are like fully like ready to go. So between Dark Harvest and the Rise of the Dark Realms, like I could, for anyone who's not familiar with Dark Harvest, when you use this card and you give it to one of your squads, you have to kill, and I do pull it up there, you have to kill one of the squad, or one of the figures in your squad. So I was like, you know what, I'll kill the one that's engaged, engaged to his guy, to his Path Warden. And then I was like, and I told him, like, oh, you're not going to like this, dude. Like, I'm going to get a free disengage and +3 power. So then I used Rise of the Dark Realms, which allows me to bring 1 dead squad figure from my graveyard on an empty space adjacent to a black Planeswalker. And I basically just go to the space just south of Obnoxious. So now, like, that guy kind of just went from, the north space to the south space right below me. And now they all have 6 attack, or 6 power. I'll call attack. I'll say it's attack a lot. That's Heroscape coming out of me, because I'm used to Heroscape. But 6 power / 6 attack. They're equivalent in my eyes. In case same with toughness and defense. I use those synonymously, I suppose. And then for my third magic trick this turn, Duress, which is another +1 attack, +1 power. And it says that when the enchanted squad deals damage to a planeswalker, that the controller of that planeswalker has to discard a card. So this is a sick card. because, when you have a squad of 3, there's potential that all 3 of them do damage, and that means your opponent discards 3 cards. And I think at this point in the game, he'll had either 4 or 5 cards in his hand, so a good chance for me to murder his hand, like really reduce the number of cards in his hand. So we're rolling 7 versus 4, I believe. I'm going even ground first. He rolls 1 shield to my 5 attack, so that's a monster 4 hits out of his Nissa's 7 life, which is that's just definitely savage play, kind of a lucky play. Whatever, I mean, lucky roll, I suppose. So here he is discarding a card. It's supposed to be at random, but I just said, you know what? I'll just pick a card. I just told him, let's just get rid of the one the furthest to your left. So he dumps. It's Bountiful Harvest, I think, the one that gives +3 healing, or remove 3 wounds from your Planeswalker kind of deal. Really, really good card. I was super excited that was one he dropped. So the second attack was from one of my guys in the water to up at Nissa. So it's a 7v5. I didn't catch the roll. I think it was 4 to 0 shields. But either way, that's enough to just outright kill Nissa. I think it was 4 to 0, that's a pretty sad defense roll on 5 dice. And he discards another card from his hand, Fog. But at this point, since your Planeswalker is dead, it's just part of the rules that you don't get to play spells anymore, and you don't get to draw anymore. So discarding is kind of, there's no point to it, because his entire deck and hand is effectively discarded at this point. So he's electing to take his Path Warden now. He's rolling 4 versus 4 against Obnoxious. I think it was 1 attack versus 1 defense there. So a block. And turns back to me. And at this point, the game has kind of winded down, because that was my turn. My 3 spell turn of Dark Harvest, Rise of the Dark Realms, and Duress was just. I didn't realize I really had that combo waiting for me until that turn, and it was just like a freaking light bulb, and I was like, oh crap, like I can inflict some serious damage this turn. So that definitely put a lot of hurt on him. I played Liliana's Caress just for the sake of discard a card, because it's fun. There was no use really for it. This was rolling for Rise of the Dark Realms. I roll a nat 1 because I'm a savage. Black players deserve nat 1s, right? So the zombies don't revive. And I think I didn't put it in here actually, but I used at any price on that last Path Warden. I don't think I actually left that in the video. But either way, you'll see he disappeared, and in case my eyeballs didn't catch it, and I whatever, the video doesn't capture it, that guy disappeared because of at any price. So I'm using Ever After, just respawning one of the werewolves that I killed with at any price earlier. And here he is bouncing off of Obnoxious's wings again. Ever After basically says I can place one of his figures adjacent to my Planeswalker and then move an attack with it, and then at the end of the turn, that figure that I resurrected just dies. So I'm attacking his Elf Archer that's been hiding behind that tree this whole game. He rolls a blank on his defense, and then I roll 1 hit out of 3 dice. So that puts a wound on his Elf Archer. And he'll attach it, I think, the way he did before. He removes the wolf because the wolf's kind of pointless anyway. My turn's going to end right after he gets that wound attached. So on his turn, I believe he. Actually, I don't remember what he does. I'm going to have to watch. Oh, he's attacking. He's attacking the Ghoul Vanguard that he's adjacent to with that Elf Ranger that I just attacked with the werewolf. So he's rolling 3. He gets 2 hits, and I think I block. There's 2 shields, so yep, blocked. Turns back to me. I have nothing left in my deck. I roll for Darkness Rises, come up with a 10. Not quite, I think it's a 12 you need, so not quite there. So action 3, move Obnoxious over there. You'll see me pointing out. I'm just using at any price because he has no deck. I'm just freely going to run around and murder everything with it. Oh, that's right, and I rolled that there. I'm like sitting there trying to figure out. I just rolled the LEA, an leaving engagement attack. He ran away from my Ghoul Vanguard to try a 4v4 on Obnoxious to try and kill him because 4 hits and 4 blanks would kill Obnoxious outright, but he gets 2 hits, and I believe I blocked it with 2 shields, and he concedes. You'll see the table flip, which is, I think, pretty funny. It's a cool feature to include in the game, in a game that's based on tabletop gaming anyway. It's just completely outrageous to flip the table and watch the pieces fly everywhere. But in general, I totally love this. I do wish I could have posted our chat in the video, but I totally respect his right to privacy all the same. Hey, anyone likes this video, please, comment, subscribe, like, hit me up if you want to play some Tabletop Simulator, AOTP in particular, because I'm really itching to get some games in. I'm totally loving it right now. But this concludes the video, so thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.